Good morning and welcome to Tarot Tuesday. I am so glad to have you here. Thank you for starting your day in a mindful way with me, Minnassa, your resource for mindful living, and welcome to Mindful Mornings with Minnassa. So I've got a lot of new subscribers, a lot of new eyes. I see you 100 people checking this out on Tuesday. So I want to ask you, as you receive from me, reciprocate and give back by liking the video. So hit the thumbs up to subscribe to my channel. Go into the show notes and look at the other things that I offer so that this can be a complete reciprocity, a circle of abundance between the two of us. So please like and subscribe, and if you're feeling so moved, leave a comment as well as long as it's polite, right? And so I want to welcome you to Tarot Tuesdays. So I want us to begin today. I have my third eye chakra bowl. And I want us to really take the time because this is for inspirational, transformational, motivational, and educational purposes only. And this is about empowering you. Or when I do a tarot reading, it's about empowering you to connect with your own intuitive self, with your own divine self, with your own higher guides. And so let's, before we begin the reading, get into a space where we are connected with our divine selves going through our third eye. So I invite you to take a deep breath in and out. And I invite you again to take a deep breath in and out. And so I've got two sets of cards today. Last week, before I went to my conference, which again was an amazing event for me and just a good way for me to get in the practice of traveling and being out and about after not doing so for a couple years, being stuck in the house, of course. So last week before I left, I asked, as we're moving into Taurus season, what is the energy? How are we to move and groove and step into our alignment with our higher selves? And then for this week, asking, what is the energy of this month of May? As we stepped into May yesterday, happy Beltane to those of you who celebrate. And just happy spring and flourishing and blooming to all of us. And so I wanted to take a look at those cards. So what is the energy of moving forward for coming into this Taurus season, stepping into the lovey-dovey of the earth sign ruled by Venus? So very interesting that the first card I pulled would be fire. So again, reminding us that as we step into Taurus season, to take that passion, that drive, that verve from Aries seasons, from beginning the new year, to take it with us. It isn't like, oh yeah, I was feeling all inspired and stuff, but okay, now I'm not. No, the whole point of that is that first sign is the foundation for how we move and groove and move forward in this astrological or new energetic year. So to really stand on that foundation of acting, interacting, and reacting from our passions, from what is the true us deep within. And then, of course, not any surprise in that the next card would be Earth, bringing in this beautiful goddess Gaia and all that the earth is. Yes, the earth is ground, but it's also the sky and it's water, and it's about moving completely, holistically. The earth is a unit. You know, the ocean's not just doing something, the sky's not doing something, the ground's not doing something. It is a unit, moves holistically, and it evolves and it grows. And then to recognize that part of even this Taurus season is that there's cycles. We're in the eclipse cycles. We're going to have a full moon and a new moon. To just really be in tune with that as you move with your passions, as you move with this understanding that that is what's motivating, not what people think outside, not what someone told you is important, not what your religion told you is important, not what some tarot reader told you is important, but what you have connected with in April or in March when we stepped into the Aries season and into the new year, the new energetic year. What makes you happy? What would you do for free for your job? What drives you? How do you want to serve other people? What is driving you to create your best life? That is the foundation moving forward for this year. And then to do that as a whole, holistically, not fragmented or compartmentalized. And one of the best ways to do that, especially in this Taurus season ruled by Venus, all lovey-dovey of the earth signs, is to go in that desert place. You know, one of the beautiful things about Master Teacher Jesus is that he would go away into the desert. Go to that dry place, that place where most people want to stay away from, but it's in that sacred space. You know, when in the Old Testament, when Moses was introduced to Yod He Vav He, he was in the desert. And that place, he said, take off your shoes. Where you're standing is holy ground. It's holy, right? We talked about yesterday. That again, to go to those sacred spaces, that getaway space, so that you can hear from the truth that is within. Was invited by a beautiful woman to be the spiritual director of her production company, Jenna on Fire, and that's one of the things we're talking about. I think she's named my sessions Turn Within. And as you saw when I shared from my presentation on mindfulness, mindful living is an inside job. So when you want to connect with your passions and you want to do it holistically, you've got to take that time to turn within. That yes, I love to read books and I love to get advice from my wife and my daughter and my mom and from my friends, and the tarot cards and my pendulums and my guides, but all that comes from doing the work within so that I can sift through that which is for me at this time, that which is in alignment with my higher purposes and my higher self. And it comes from having that time alone. So then our second set of cards, which are from a new deck that I have not read from. So I'm using them today, and these are chakra cards. So around the edges are the color of the chakras. So the deck is not in order like Ace, Cups, Pentacles, Swords, and the major arcana in the front. It's divided up by the chakras. So very telling that in this energy of May, as we have stepped into our passions, that we are doing the work. These eclipses are taking away what is not for our highest good if we don't joyfully release it. And so to have two chakra cards that have the solar plexus, this is about holding your boundaries, standing firm in what is true for you, not as what is safe for you, not as what is normal for you, not what you always do, but what is true for you. One is stepping into your strength, into your power, owning that you are fabulous and shining and flowing and being in that. And then the Six of Coins is about reciprocity. So this, especially again with the third eye, about giving and receiving. So as you're giving out the best of yourself. Are you receiving best back? Y'all know I'm not a fan of the Kardashians. So if you're watching their show, you're just giving, you might as well that's just like eating some Cheetos and Fritos. It might be fun once in a while. If you keep feeding your soul that junk, you don't need that. Also, what are you watching on TV? Who are you listening to? What are your podcasts? You're watching those murder shows and all that stuff. That stuff is feeding your soul. So you're giving out good and you're giving yourself junk. Eventually junk is going to go out, and that's junk in Minnassa's opinion. But again, if we can get to that place where we are giving and receiving the best of spirit, giving and receiving love and light, giving and receiving from within and acknowledging that namaste moment, the divine within me, the goddess within me sees the goddess within you. And that's how I interact with people. Even though I'm telling you, something at the hospital, y'all pray for a sister now. I'm just saying, hold space for some of those folks. But then I have to remember the divine within me, connect to that divinity, and then move from that place, move from that alignment, hold that boundary, that strength of who I really am. And I'm encouraging you to do the same, knowing that we are moving towards the 10 of Cups, the happy family, that fulfillment. But it comes from having healthy boundaries, knowing ourselves and being rooted in that, and then operating vertically, that third eye, operating from our spiritual selves, operating from our spiritual knowledge, and letting those be the truth of how we move through this month of May. As we move throughout this year, standing firm on that fire, that passion within, that Aries to drive forward and do it holistically. Again, right, let me go back to those cards. with Mother Earth and taking time to get away from everybody. And in this month of May, to be sure to shore up our boundaries and to live our life internally, or as Alea says, vertically. The real world is that world that's connected. Connected. And let's live from that place and then set those boundaries that I don't let trash. It's like there's not just trash all over my house. I don't let trash in and I don't give trash out. So let that reciprocity be. As I give of my light, I am receiving light. As I give of my love, I'm receiving love. As I give of my joy, I'm receiving joy. And I give of my grace, I'm receiving grace because I surround myself with that. Whose pages are you looking at Instagram? On TikTok? You know, you are a spiritual being. You know, you are what you eat, which is true for your physical body, and you are what you eat, which is true for your spiritual self. So set those boundaries. Not just anything can come across the barrier that leads to you energetically. And then move forward with your passion. I'm having a fun time doing this. Again, all y'all that watch this, if you don't already subscribe to my channel, what the heck, right? Come on and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up and send me a comment. Have a beautiful and blessed day.